So in about 2 days, I'm going to be starting my hike with the Michinoku Coastal Trail, which is a long distance hiking trail in Japan. It's about 1,050 kilometers long. So I'm going northbound. This video is just to kind of run through all my gear for anyone out there who's interested. And I'll put links to everything in the video description as well. So yeah, we'll jump into it. Let's start with what I'm actually wearing day to day. So this is the Outdoor Research Sun hoodie. There's a hood like this, and a little thumb holes like that. And it's an UPF 50, I think. I wore this on the Colorado Trail 2021. So yeah, there'll be a lot of sun exposure, so it's good to have. It's really lightweight and it's comfy. Then I just have some generic shorts, and I have some merino wool underwear, and then some darn tough ankle socks. In terms of shoes, I'm actually going with something new this time. This is the Vivo barefoot shoe, so it has like zero support. Usually I hike in ultras, which have a lot of cushion, so they have no support, but they're very comfy, and you get more feedback on the trail as well. I replaced the laces with lock laces, just easier, and the default laces that come with aren't very good, but the shoe itself is great, very comfy. So it'll be interesting to hike 1,000 kilometers in barefoot shoes and see what it's like. Realistically, I probably should replace these at some point along the trail. They say they're good for about 500 kilometers. I'll be doing 1,000 obviously, but I have big feet, and finding shoes that fit me in Japan is almost impossible, even online. So I don't know, I'll figure it out. Then just some generic sunglasses. I bought these in Lisbon for like €2, and a sun hoodie, a sun hat. Basically like an old lady, but it works. And it packs away small as well if I don't need this. Or I can use my hood as well if I want. So plenty of options. And also I will have around my neck a neck knife. Japan is very safe. This isn't for protection necessarily. Could be used for that, but that's not really why I have it. It's just handy to have a knife. Okay. Then I also have one trekking pole, the Leki Kumbu strong pole, and at the end I have got a rubber tip. It's stuck on tight. Alright, leave it on. It's stuck on tight. Then I have a rubber tip at the top, just to protect the trail. Very rarely do you need the actual tip to dig into the ground. And also I use this to pitch my tent. I usually hike with 2 poles, but this time I decided to hike with just one. Before we go into my main pack, I also wear a fanny pack, which has a lot of stuff in it as well. So this fanny pack is the Red Paw Packs Flex fanny pack. And main feature of this one is there's a main pocket here, but on top it has a little stretchy pocket, which I will use for a drink container. So it's like a half litre, again packs down. Before I get into the thing, I'm also carrying some bear spray. The orange tip on the trigger, I guess, stops me from being pulled accidentally. I've hiked in bear country before, so I'm not too worried about bears, but this trail isn't. Most of the trails I've done before are very popular trails where there's people on them all the time, and there might be some sections up north where there isn't that much hikers passing through every day, so bears mightn't be as accustomed to humans up there. And just a note on the bear spray, you can't put this in a plane, so if you want bear spray, you'd have to get it in Japan when you get here. Actually, inside my fanny pack then, I have my AirPods. I have some Outdoor Research sun gloves. These are the Outdoor Research sun gloves. You can see they're fingerless. It's nice. I use these on the Colorado Trail as well, so I'm well used to them. One thing I forgot to mention is I'm also wearing a Garmin Forerunner watch. I have some hand sanitizer. This cream, which is kind of the Japanese equivalent of Neosporin, so any scratches, burns, bites, I can rub this on it and it kind of soothes it and helps infection, that kind of stuff. I can't remember what it's called. Then I have some body glide, lips with chafing and all that good stuff. And I have my DCF wallet. It's been through a lot over the years. In this I have my passport, debit cards, cash, and key to the locker in Osaka that has all my other stuff. Some SPF lip balm, a lighter. This is the Zendor Super Mini power bank. It's 10,000 milliamps. super small, super lightweight. It's really good. I'm liking it. It has both USB-C and USB-A. And I got two cables. One is USB A to C, and then one is C to C. And then I have this Anchor wall charger, so the prongs flip out, which is nice and handy. And it has a single USB-C charger. So this is small but charges really quick. And there's another Super Mini allows pass-through charging. So this means I can daisy chain another device off it. So I can use the wall charger to charge this and then charge something else off that. And then I have a pen, pocket knife, scissors, tweezers, knife, all that good stuff. And then this little Tylenol tube, which isn't just Tylenol, it has a bunch of different meds in it. I couldn't find ibuprofen in Japan, but I got the Japanese equivalent of it, which again I forgot the name of. And some other things like, just a bunch of miscellaneous pills essentially to get me through the day. So that's all that's in my fanny pack, and then onto the main pack. Okay. So this is my main pack. The pack itself is the Palante V2 Simple Pack. Really nice pack. It's frameless. It doesn't have a hip belt. Well, it has an extendable hip belt, but I rarely use that. Waterproof, DCF, really nice. So we'll go through what's on the outside of my pack and then go through inside as well. So up top we have the Z seat, butt pad essentially. So if I want to sit down or when I'm sleeping, I can use this on my hip, that kind of stuff. Just adds a bit extra warmth and comfort, that kind of stuff. Then this is my rain jacket, the Marmot. I can't remember the exact name of it, but I'll put it in the description. It's Gore-Tex rain jacket. It has pit zips. My front pocket then, I have a waterproof notepad, rain to write notepad. So the paper itself is waterproof, which is handy. Then I have a Knock collapsible 1 litre bottle. Like that. Again, lightweight, collapsible, good. I haven't used that before, but I've used the Knock water bladders, so I'm used to Knock. Then a Sawyer water filter, the big one, the main one, the one that everyone uses and should use. Ziploc just for rubbish. Some baby wipes. Spoon, long handled spoon. Black diamond headlight. This is just a protein shaker. I'll be bringing protein and creatine with me, and I'll just use this to shake it through the day. That's everything in the front pocket on top. This side, we have my cook system in the bot. So this is the Vargo Bot HD. So it's one of the handles. It's a screw top, watertight steel pot. And then in this, I have another lighter just for backup and contingency and for convenience. And a collapsible cup. Just a little rag to keep it clean. The Pocket Rocket stove. And then my gas canister, and then the bot itself. And it all packs away together. And because this is a waterproof steel container, I can, if I want, take all the stuff out and put water inside it. Then on this side of the pack, I will have a tripod, which I'm currently using so you can't see it. And then in here I have my map book. So this is a waterproof container, waterproof thing, and this has my trail passport. You can get stamps along the trail. The map book I'm currently using, there are 10 map books, so I'll have one in here, whichever area I'm in. And then the data book itself, which is a kind of a general overview of the entire trail. Yeah, so I'll have these in my side pocket. I'll be using GPS on my phone and stuff as well. There's Google Maps I'm using. but it's good to have hard copies just in case. In the front, so now down here, hanging off one of the straps, I have a fire beaner and a bear bell. So the bear bell doesn't ring if I don't want it to, but if I pull it down like this, then it rings and scares off bears, hopefully. The carabiner, or the fire beaner as it's called, is just a general carabiner, but has some utility in it as well. So I don't know if you can see this, but up here, you see this, this thing is a screwdriver, then there's a bottle opener, a little knife, the fire beaner you can use to start fires. Yeah, it's just a handy piece of gear. I don't know if I actually ever use it, but it'll be there just in an emergency. In this pocket then I have a Marmot shoulder pouch. In this I'll be keeping in the DJI Pocket 2, which I'm currently using to film this. It just is like a camera, a small camera on a gimbal, which is really cool. So yeah, in here I keep all the Pocket 2 accessories. So just mic, which I don't even know if I use on trail, but it's so small I may as well bring it. And then some ND filters. And I'm going to have a Ziploc bag just in case if it's raining, you need to cover it up. And then on the other side I have a ULA shoulder pouch pocket. This one's waterproof. So in here I'll keep my phone, which is the Samsung S20 Ultra 5G, and a hard case in it. And then in the front pocket of that I have my little Totoro coin pouch. Obviously there's a lot of vending machines in Japan, and it's just good to have access to coins. And then on the Plante V2 shoulder straps, there's actually small pockets as well, which I'm going to fill with. So this one has my buff, and then this one just has a face slot, actual proper face slot. I don't like the microfiber towels, I think kind of pointless. Let's actually have a proper cloth. So they'll be in these small pouches. And that is not everything on the outside of the bag, because the Plante V2 has a bottom pocket as well. So down here, let's see, a bottom pocket here, it's very handy. All packs have this, it's super handy. In here I will have my Enlightened Equipment wind pants, bug net. It also can be used as a shopping bag or laundry bag when in town. And then also a 3FUL rain skirt. And then also a gym and coffee beanie. Okay, so that is everything on the outside of the bag. So now let's go inside. So, alright. First thing on the top is my tent. The Z-Packs Altiplex. I'm 6'2", 188 centimeters. The Altiplex is designed for tall hikers, and I use my pole to pitch it. Super lightweight. I've used it in Ireland on my coast to coast hike there, and in Colorado Trail, so it's really nice. Then next I have my toilet kit, my poop kit. And here's I got a trowel, some toilet paper, and a bidet in a Ziploc bag. So the bidet works as you can imagine. I've tried other options before, but I find this is the best one. There are certain options that you can screw onto your water, your drinking water, which to me I don't like the idea of bringing my drinking water where I've taken a shit. Call me old fashioned. And I have a little DCF bag with my temp stakes. I have a selection of different types. So some groundhogs, just a general collection. I haven't been impressed with any of these in particular. Some of them was bender break, so it's better to have more than you need. And then I have my puffy, which is the Enlightened Equipment Apex Torrid hoodie. I've used this for years, it's all good. And I have the Z-Packs bear bag, food bag, I really only expect at most carry maybe 2 or 3 days of food on this hike, because you're going passing through towns a lot, so I don't have to worry too much about carrying a lot of food. But I will carry certain things like, in this I have some omega-3 and multivitamins, some creatine, a whole wad of protein powder, some Pocari Sweat. If you know, you know. This is like Japanese electrolytes essentially. And then yep, I'll obviously have more food there as I go along the hike, so snacks and whatever else. Everything else after this now is inside this polycro pocket, so it's waterproof. Take it out so you can see what I'm talking about. So this sits on the bottom of my pack, so everything I want to keep dry for sure goes in here. So my most controversial gear choice and the last addition to my pack is a Nintendo Switch. I don't recommend bringing this, but as I'm recording this, the new Zelda just came out like 2 days ago, and I started playing it and I'm loving it. I don't want to stop playing it, so I'm bringing a Switch. Who's gonna stop me? I'm hiking in Japan, home of Nintendo. Yeah, I'm bringing a Switch. Fuck it. Then this is my Ditty bag, which just has a bunch of random shit in it. I'll go through that later. And this is my quilt, catabatic outfit, I think it is, which is 22 degrees Fahrenheit. It's rated for 22 degrees Fahrenheit, which is, I don't know, whatever, -1 or something. I've used this for years as well, and yeah, no problems with it. Next, I have a little sleep mask. Again, it's actually a first for me, a spare change of underwear. Luxury. And I have a Helly Hansen base layer for any days where it's cold. And I have a merino wool sleeping layer. And then for sleeping as well, the Patagonia Capilline bottoms. And this is my pillow, the Sea to Summit Aeros pillow. Super lightweight. No hiking pillow is super comfortable, but this is the one I found to be most comfortable. And then I have a whole bunch of socks. So I have 3 pairs of Darn Tough ankle socks and 1 pair of Darn Tough normal socks. Using my sleep socks if it gets cold. And then the polycro bag itself. So then in my Ditty bag, as I said, I have a bunch of random stuff. So more electronics, more cables, med kit, just random stuff. It's a long USB-C cable. It's probably heavier than I need, but it charges super fast. And also because I'm bringing a Switch, it'll charge as well. Cable for my AirPods. Some moisturizer. A razor. Some electrolytes, just in case. Some dental floss. A resistance band for stretching out. And another resistance band, a longer one for even more stretching out. A charger for my Garmin. Toothbrush. Toothpaste. Gorilla tape. Toothpick. Some super glue. Some more meds. Some replacement tips for my AirPods. Some USB-C wired headphones, just in case my AirPods go dead, or if I want to save battery. Another power bank. This is the Anker 20,000 milliamp. I've had this for a few years, so it's probably a bit worn down, but this coupled with my other power bank should be enough. Replacement rubber tip for my hiking pole. Small microfiber cloth for cleaning stuff. Some general all-purpose cord. If I ever need to hang my food, for example, I could use this to hang my bear bag. Some cords and stuff from my quilt. I want to strap it down to my sleeping pad. And some miscellaneous band-aids and pad repair kits, that kind of stuff. Some more medication. And this, then I have things like SD cards, pins for threading needle, and yeah, just a replacement bottle cap and another O-ring for my water filter just in case. That's everything in my Ditty bag. There's also the rest of my hiking maps. So I'll have one map outside the bag where I can access throughout the day, and then the rest in here. And then my sleeping pad is the Thermarest X-Term. And that is everything. So this gear list is probably my most luxurious I've ever had, I would say. And that's mainly because this trail will pass through towns. I'd say the longest distance would be maybe 3 days at most. Even then, within those 3 days, you probably could get past a cafe or a vending machine, that kind of stuff. So you don't have to worry too much about carrying too much food or too much water at any given time. Compared to say like the Colorado Trail, where you're going to have to carry 4 or 5 days of food and filter all your water on trail, it's not going to be as laborious as that. So then you have a decision to make. Okay, do I want to keep my pack as minimal as possible, and so keep my weight down, or do I want to use that free space and free weight for more options, so I can bring a switch if I want, or bring an extra pair of underwear, that kind of stuff. So I opted for the latter. So yeah, so my base weight is still very manageable, even with all these extras. Even with carrying Nintendo Switch, it's still fine for me. I'm used to carrying more, so this is all good. My sleeping pad and my quilt are probably overkill for what the trail requires, but I'm not going to replace what I already have. I'm trying to generally optimize my gear towards it's more generalist, so I can pick it up and use it anywhere in the world, whenever I want, pretty much in a tree season environment. And if that means, okay, my pad is probably too heavy or too warm for Japan in the summer, it's fine, doesn't matter. I had a tough decision between my rain jacket. So I have the Marmot rain jacket, which is heavy Gore-Tex, has all the bells and whistles. Usually I have a Frog Togs, which is super light, very, very minimalist, literally just a pullover, and that's it. You know, my reasoning was essentially I don't need to worry, I have space, so I may as well just bring better gear. So yeah, most of the gear I've already used before. I recommend everything in it, with the exception of the Switch. You shouldn't bring a Switch when hiking. I'm just enjoying Zelda too much. And right now I have about 24 hours before I start the hike, and if I make any change, it will be that. But it's very enticing. The idea of playing Zelda in a tent in Japan is quite enticing at the moment. So that's where I am. I'm going to pack all the shit up again. If you want to follow along my hike, probably I'll be posting videos on YouTube here after the hike. If you want to follow along during the hike, I'll be posting on Instagram. I'll put a link in the description below. Just Patrick Noonan89 on Instagram. And yeah, I'm looking forward to it. If you have any questions or comments, put them down below. I'll get back to you. And yeah, thanks for watching. Have a good one.